Hey YouTube. So I'm here in my car doing a vlog because my children aren't bothering me in here. When I first started seeing vlogs, I would be like, why are people vlogging in their car? And now I know, because your kids aren't coming in here bothering you and the dogs aren't barking and it's quiet. So anyway, this is Heather Ann. For those of you that follow me, you know my name. For those of you who don't, welcome. So there's this sign at my gym. I go to an MMA gym and I do kickboxing. And it says, our fears do not stop death. They stop life. And my coach has a lot of motivational signs everywhere in the gym. And I really like that one a lot. It's by Rickson Gracie. Look him up. He's a cool guy. Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy. Our fears do not stop death. They stop life. So today I kind of got into a space of fear, and I want to talk to you about how I apply logic to get out of fear. So I had a cold for a couple of days, and I have mild asthma, and it only flares up when I get a cold. And sometimes I get this cough, and then, it's like just a little tight and whatever. And so it was bothering me earlier, but then, my doctor said, take your breathing treatment. I have a whole, protocol. If it's bothering you, that doesn't mean that you don't exercise. You just have to take the right medicine before and then, monitor, blah, blah, blah. So I knew that it was safe to work out. I've talked to my doctor, and yet I kind of started freaking out. And I started thinking, what if I have an asthma attack? What if I can't make it through class? What if? And my mind was just like spinning. And then, of course, so there's a lot of mental with your breathing. So if you start getting anxious or you start like spinning your head, then your breathing will go shallow. You'll start breathing more shallow. Oops, the sun. Sorry. I'm trying to block the sun with my head and my messy gym hair. I'm a little bit of a mess, but I don't care because I went to the gym, and that's good. So my mind was spinning, right? But I've learned to get myself out of that, and this is what I do. I start applying logic. So I ask myself, what is the worst thing that can happen? So I'm like, okay, what's the worst thing that can happen? The worst thing that can happen is that I have an asthma attack. It's so bad they have to call the ambulance. The paramedics take me to the hospital and I get intubated and I've got like things in my throat and it's horrible and I could die. Okay, that's terrible, right? But then here's the next step. You have to ask yourself, how logical is that and how likely is that to happen? Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, that's like a 0 because I've never had an incident that bad. Then you start backing up. So then I'm like, okay, what could realistically happen? Okay, so it could flare up. I could start coughing. I could be uncomfortable. I could have to sit down. I could have to leave. Okay, but then I thought, well, hey, even if I have to leave, my coach is going to tell me I was a badass for trying, right? He told me I was a badass not that long ago, and I was like, yes! Like, mission accomplished to be told you're a badass in class. That's amazing. And so really, you're going to get points for showing up, right? Okay, so what was really cool about it was that, so I went to the gym, I started working out. It was a little hard at first. I was kind of coughing a little bit, and then I just kept pushing. Like, I know that I'm over the cold. I know I'm not germy, so don't put in comments like, Heather, why you go to the gym when you're sick? Because I'm not sick anymore. It's just, the lingering thing, and having a little asthma complicates it, right? So I had to stop a couple times and not do as many. But then the beautiful surprise was that finally it actually like cleared out my lungs and they opened up, and I actually feel like way better after going to the gym than I did before I went. So I always say, like, speak life over yourself. In the Bible it says life and death is in the power of the tongue, and that's a pretty dramatic statement, right? Life and death. Death in the power of the tongue, right? That is literal. You can literally talk yourself into ruining your life. You can speak so much death over yourself that you don't do things to live. I have seen people do it. I'm 47 years old and I never call myself old or middle-aged or don't apply those words to me. Do not apply words of death to me. I only apply words of life to myself. I do not joke like that. I do not joke about being close to AARP age and all that. I don't. I never apply words of death to myself. And if I catch myself doing it, I stop. So when you're getting into a space of fear, and we all do it, right? I mean, we all do. We freak out. Oh my gosh, what is this? You get into it. Sometimes it's with a situation. It could be with a relationship. It could be with going for a new job, trying a new hobby, right? We get into a lot of a space of fear, and we actually stop our life. Fears aren't stopping death, and they're not stopping you from getting hurt. They're not stopping you from getting hurt emotionally. They're not stopping you from getting hurt physically. Your fears, unless you have fear of jumping off a bridge, yeah, that one probably does. But your fears are stopping your life. So think logically. Ask yourself what's the worst thing that can happen. Apply that logic to your situation. And obviously don't be a dunderhead and do something that is stupid. I mean, if you're in the middle of a asthma flare-up and, you're not feeling it, don't push yourself. But you know when to push yourself and when to not. And then push yourself and stop the fear in its tracks with logic. And speak life over yourself. I literally was saying to myself, I can do this. I can do this. This is okay. And if I can't, it's okay to stop. Your self-talk is so important, my friends. So go forth and conquer your fears because it's worth it. Life is so much better. Believe me, I used to suffer from the worst anxiety. It was all connected to this trauma I had because I almost died and I was in the hospital and I had all this trauma from that. And it was almost like post-traumatic stress or something. And I did a lot to overcome it. And I talk about little things in my vlog and in my blog on my website, heatherannworld.com, Heather Ann with an E, just like Anne of Green Gables. I've been blogging about the things I've done to heal mentally, emotionally, and physically. So this is one of them, applying logic to fear. All right, I'm going to go inside and get some more water, get something to eat, because I worked out hard. And I will see you next time. Go to my website, heatherannworld.com, and subscribe to my channel so you can get more vlogs. I do a ton of Disney. I would say Disney is my main thing, but I also do vlogs. My section on my channel is Life, the Universe, and Everything, and I talk a lot about inspirational stuff because I've been through a lot, guys, a lot. I've had a lot of, I don't want to use naughty words, but crap. I've had a lot of yucky stuff happen in my life, physically and emotionally and in my circumstances. But I'm thriving. I'm thriving because I decided that I was going to be relentless and I wasn't going to stop and I was not going to accept that as my reality. And I spoke life over myself. Okay, bye.